Comedy Sim, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We're here at the studio. Again, Trained by Day, Comedy Sim podcast.
Trans jokes by night.
By 5 p.m. I unalived my neighbor who was pressure washing last time. So
I'm still offended at the comment. You did pick like one of the worst clips, I think, when the Jesus on toast one.
I don't even remember.
Okay, what happened to Jesus being on toast? Remember back in the day?
Yeah.
And then you're like, he turned trans, and then I'm like, good trans joke. And then someone comments, oh, you think you're so funny with your zany glasses, and oh, you mention a movie and a trans, and you think you're going to be funny. And it pissed me off because I'm like, no, we don't think we're going to be funny.
No, this is an educational podcast.
Right.
You know, I actually took some notes. There's been so much that has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Comedy Simp. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please.
Stephen Michael James, Rob C. We're here. So much to talk about, man. There's been a lot going on in the past couple weeks, and let's just start out. Did you have a good 9/11? How was your 9/11? And in fact, I think even we could talk about stuff that happened before that, but 9/11 just happened. We just celebrated it. 24th anniversary. We were both there. I mean, we weren't there, but we saw it happen.
9/11 is fading away. You know, you make a 9/11 joke on 9/11 and it goes over some of these people's heads. And it was frightening because I'm like, if 9/11 can be forgotten, then like, I'm not even remembered yet, but even if there was ever a chance that I'll be forgotten like that. So 9/11 was very depressing for me.
Yeah.
I made several 9/11 jokes. People weren't offended. They were literally just like, I don't get it. People don't care about 9/11 anymore. And if they don't care about 9/11, then who's going to care about me?
Yeah. Well, you know what? People don't really care about anything anymore. It seems like, everything just gets swept under the rug.
They care about Charlie Kirk, 9/10.
Yes. And we took notes. We'll talk about that. The big death.
The big death.
Before we get into that, where were you when 9/11 happened? 2001. You and I are both high school, two different states, opposite coast.
I was in the basement where I lived.
What was
mom's house.
What was happening?
I was excited.
You woke up in the morning. Did you turn the TV on? Did your mom wake you up?
The TV was already on. My mom woke me up. She's like, you're not going to school today. And I'm like, yes. And then she was actually a little upset. She's like, whoa, calm down. This is a tragedy. And I'm just like, but I'm not going to school. Right?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. I'm like, awesome. And then we turned the TV on and we kept watching, repeat after repeat of the planes crashing. And I remember the first thing I thought when I saw the plane crash and the building collapse, I thought to myself, jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Wow. I mean, you were pretty informed at a young age, I didn't even know. I didn't have pubic hair by then. I'm sure, right? Yeah.
I remember that. I couldn't yet. I was in 9th grade. Couldn't.
Oh, man.
It wasn't until the summer going into sophomore year that and I remember I was so excited because I've been lying to my friends.
I don't know if that counts as a bad word, but hey, who cares? It's science. We're talking about it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I couldn't.
Yes.
That's the appropriate term.
Could not expel the demons.
Yeah. So I remember it was
he had a lot of demons running around.
September 11th gave me the ability to come. Produce semen.
Yeah.
Later on that summer. But I was
American semen. Absolutely.
Yeah. It took Tower 7 to go down before.
I know. I had a really great Tower 7 joke a couple years ago. Nobody around here got it.
Here's a really bad one I came up with. I said that there's a lot of rumors out there, conspiracy theories, who's behind it, Al-Qaeda, the Jews, Bush. I'm like, I think trans people from the trans joke from the future were behind it. the towers reminded them of big penises, and they did not like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, towers 7 inches. It's the worst joke I've ever.
Yeah, that was. Natalie was supposed to do the whiskey mile. I made a 9/11 poster. Even we were Chat GPT would not let me do a 9/11 poster, so I had to replace the buildings with sexual objects,
penises. Yeah.
Toys.
Jizz fuel doesn't melt steel boners.
It doesn't. It actually just sticks.
Yeah.
And it got canceled. So I could just, before we move on, 9/11. I could just remember, man. I woke up in the morning. I turned on the TV like always,
So how old you were? Because are you 2 years older than me?
I was born in 85.
Yeah, 1 year older than me.
So
see, I
was just in high school. I was like,
sophomore year probably.
Yeah. And something crazy. It was the news. I mean, I didn't pay attention to the news. I was like, oh, just another crazy thing happened. But once I got to school, they had a TV on one of those rolling carts, and everybody watched. And
so you actually went to school because we had school.
I went to school, yeah, and then it was weird. But then we continued through the whole day, and I didn't want to be there, and I regretted going to school.
No planes in the sky.
Yeah,
that was another thing.
Oh yeah, they grounded the planes.
It was amazing.
Grounded flights. Yes, I mean, and before that, I don't know if I flew. I think I flew in the year 2000, and it was a totally different experience because you could actually go. If you weren't like now, you could barely go in there if you don't have a ticket, right? Back then,
not even barely.
Yeah,
I mean, if you work there, you can. Yeah, but you cannot go back there if you don't have a ticket.
But back then, pre 9/11, I remember going to Disneyland. You could walk all the way up to the gate.
I remember meeting people and delivering people to the gate, and that was fun. And here's what really grinds my gears is that whole thing that we do, the TSA stuff. It is bullshit. I have gotten numerous drugs. I've gotten Molly across, cocaine.
My dad
weed.
always brings his weed vape everywhere.
I accidentally brought a sword across during COVID. It was an accident. I forgot because I was in LA just acting all crazy. I remember I was gifted a sword. And I put it in this duffel bag thing, and I completely forgot about it. A sword.
What kind of sword are we talking about? Like a katana?
It's kind of like a katana.
Okay, so very Noah when.
Yeah, and it was a gift.
This is a sword.
It was a weird tweaker. He was like a spiritual guy, but he gave me the sword. I forgot about it. It's been in my bag forever. I brought it across, or not across, but I brought it from LA to Seattle. And I remember I opened the bag and I was going through. So I'm like, holy shit! I brought a sword on the plane. And then another thing that I remember is when I went to Mexico with a bunch of dab pens, and I was really worried because I slipped them in my backpack bag where pens go.
Yeah.
But they still took the bag aside, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah. But apparently I had about $20 worth of quarters in the side pocket. So that's what they were more concerned about, was this big lump of metal. Yeah. But I realized later I could have taken those quarters, put them in a sock, and I could have taken that plane with my 2 socks full of quarters.
You could have broke down the door. You could have done, it could have been executive decision.
Right. So there's so many weapons we can still make, but they're like, no, take off your shoes. There could be a bomb in there. And what else? Don't, they let me bring the quarters on. So,
there was a movie that came out in the 90s with Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal called Executive Decision. You ever remember this movie? This movie came out 6 years before 9/11, and I always thought these people saw this movie and got the idea to do it because basically in this movie, these terrorists they are hidden. There's sleeper cells on a plane, and then they take over the plane, and nobody knows. Then there's one guy that has a bomb, and I don't know. It's just. Life imitates art, aren't you right? Right?
Perhaps. Yeah. It's hard to say. Is it all planned out? Yeah. I mean, our art, is anything from Comedy Simp ever came to fruition? I don't think so.
Hey, you never know, man. I'm getting views. I think, it used to be all about the quality. Not anymore. It's all about the quantity, okay? I have decided going forward, this is...
So no more just Tuesdays. No. Every fucking day.
No. This comedy thing, we're going to do a money ball, all right? Instead of doing great videos that get lots of views, we're going to do hundreds and thousands of crappy videos that just build up the views, and that's how we're gonna make it, I think. You know, so I've already got like 5 clips pre-planned, ready to post next week.
I can't wait for the hint.
You know, we're gonna.
Do you take away my comments when I fight with them?
Is this on? I don't even know. This light just stopped working. Oh. It's on. Well, maybe I just have too much light. You know? Like, I
actually, not to bring it down.
We need to tone it down.
Another complaint I have from a good fan is that there's too much going on here.
Yeah,
and I said, "Fuck him." This is like my brain. There's just way too much going on.
It's an ever-changing thing. You know, we're evolving.
At least this time, the comedy simp is still up there.
Yeah. I turned the screensaver off. I couldn't find the Roku remote. Luckily, there's an app for that. But 9/11, never forget. And our 9/11 just happened. You know, so in local news, and somehow, how does it feel to be responsible for destroying Sam's open mic? You were the last host, and then it was just...
PJ had a statement about that. He said that Rob Conroy is an omen. It's a symbolic thing.
Yes.
Like whenever... Because I think this might have been the second mic. I'm not mistaken. That I think I hosted 4Bs, and then it shut down the next week. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't mean...
This is like The Exorcist.
It's not my fault. But like when Rob Conroy hosts your mic, it's kind of like we all know where this is going. It's going to end.
Yeah. Well, no more Sam's open mic. It got canceled. It was really in a weird spot anyways. And I want to tell you what I think about it, First of all, Sam Gross, everybody who tunes in, they might not know. Sam Gross was actually on the 3rd episode of this podcast, and he is the guy that started Whiskey Mile Comedy.
Very handsome guy.
Yeah,
very brooding. Mysterious.
I have found out that he was quite a ladies' man, and he quite hooked up with quite a lot of ladies in that Whiskey Mile.
No, it's crazy. Actually, I'm jealous as fuck of the dead guy.
Yeah.
I'm talking to these girls one night. And both of them are like, yeah, Sam. One time we hung out and he took me home. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Dude, Sam's like,
with his pseudo-British accent.
He's like, he's not a bad-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah,
but there's nothing special. My eyes see nothing special. But apparently... female eyes see this golden Adonis.
I think that
he's like a vampire or something. I don't know.
I think he fit in this category of handsome and short, which is something that
without the insecurity of a short man.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some about. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm 6 feet. You're like what, 6'2" or something like that. Like. We
2.5.
We never had to go through that, but short guys hate being short.
I know.
They
why?
do. I mean, and women, and honestly,
a lot of them have big dicks.
Yeah,
from all the short guys.
Some of these little people, man, it's like half of their leg,
Yeah.
So, and I would know. I see a lot of videos, but
right. I love budget porn too.
But yeah, Sam Gross, man. He. Do you remember like the first time you met him or?
I met him with Laura Lyons. And it was after me and Laura kind of we didn't have anything, but we had a little flirty session. I asked her on a date.
She was flirty with everybody, even me. She was like, well, like replying to stories, like what kind of, this band, I love this band, all this. Like, it's just her thing, but.
Well, I asked her on a date, and she said, you can take me on a date anytime. Mm-hmm. Well, I happened to be going to California for my red carpet event for the movie I was in.
Movie. What was that movie called?
Astrid Experience.
The Astrid Experience.
Look
Check it
up.
out.
It's amazing. It's a good movie.
He's got a great... You're only in it for one scene.
That's not true. I'm in it for like 20 scenes. You didn't watch
in the middle,
it because it's that bad.
Well, the best part,
it's a bad movie.
I just remember your stand-up set in the middle of the movie. That was the best part.
Yeah.
That was...
So I go down there for that, and it was so then we had this big red carpet event. I'm really excited. I watched the movie with my brother, and I realized the movie sucks. Yeah. And so I'm already in a bad place, but at least I'm talking to Laura Lyons. We're texting. Yeah. I invited her. I said, I want to take you on a date. She said, absolutely.
She's all movie stars texting
she's like, take me on a date when you get back.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So we're talking. She calls me a great guy. but that's a bad sign when a woman calls you that
Yeah.
in text. So then I'm like, hey, that's awesome, you know, and I just want to let you know, I think you're really cool. We've had a good thing, and like, I'd love to make sure we go on this date. And then she's like, actually, I'm not really into guys right now, or whatever. Like, whatever the fuck. And so then I'm like devastated. I'm like, oh, another one. You know, just another girl I had a thing
just
with.
another broken heart in this world of life.
That happens, and then I get back into town, and Laura Lyons has broken my heart.
Yeah,
and that's when she comes to the Shanghai room, which I'm hosting with
and
Sam.
So this was late 2023,
something
right?
Like that, 2022, something like that.
No, it's got to be 23.
Okay, I don't know time anymore.
But I'm just saying
yeah.
a few months before Whiskey Mile started.
Yeah, so she brings Sam. They're dating again.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
I'm mad. I'm like, this guy.
Who is this
guy? He
guy?
stole my girl.
He's not
I know
funny.
they were dating previously.
Yeah.
But her and I had a connection. Mm-hmm. She said I was a great guy. And now she's bringing this short, fucking British piece of shit.
You know, James Bond looking computer programmer with pop-punk t-shirts.
We still talked. I was cordial, you know, smile in his face, but hate him. And but he's a nice guy. And I'm like, good, you know, nice to meet you, fucking asshole. And that's how I kind of viewed Sam for a while. And I actually like kind of stalk him on Facebook, and I'm like, this guy sucks. I hate him. He's like going on dates with other girls, and I'm like, how dare you do that to my girl, Laura Lyons? We had a connection. Anyways, time goes on. Me and Laura, you know, that's done with, and I'm starting to hear more stuff about Laura. She's accusing Sam of sexual assault.
Yeah, and there's definitely, as time goes on, you start to find out more and more, like, this is stuff that I was never really connected to in my personal life. Like, my sister had abusive boyfriends. Maybe my mom got hit when I was young.
Just a little.
But like, knowing somebody personally and, like, knowing, like, this guy actually has a record.
I'll tell you this.
You know?
Even despite all that, right?
Yeah.
My perspective, fuck this guy. When I hear Laura Lyons is calling him a sexual assailant, I didn't go, that's right. Something was still like amiss, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, meh.
Yeah,
I saw them together. They were happy.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy. And then, you know, of course, I meet him 6 months later. I'm over Laura. I'm on to a new girl who also breaks my heart.
Yes.
But I'm on to a new one. And that's when I meet Sam, and I hear his story about how this woman is like playing mind games with him.
I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. Yeah.
In the midst of her calling him a rapist, the next day she's texting him saying, why didn't you come to my birthday? I missed you.
Yeah.
You know? So that's when I started to like kind of, okay, Sam and I are both victims here, you know, in a different way. He got the pussy at least, so like fuck him still. But like, I talked to him. He's a smart guy. Mm-hmm. He's really depressed because this girl's playing with his heart, and the same girl, in a way, played with my heart. So I'm like, you know what? We're the same, and I grow fond of this guy. And then I do his mic. I do 20 minutes. He loves me, and I'm like, I love this guy. And then 2 weeks later, dead.
Wow, no, you met him before that, or you must have. I don't.
Well, I met him before. Yeah. I just said I met him before.
No, I mean like you hung. I mean,
I didn't hang out then.
No, you went to the. I
like,
feel like you went to the mic a few times before he died. You know.
I think I went one more. I did.
Yeah.
I think I've only met one twice.
Yeah.
I mean it.
Well,
I'm not even like fucking that up. I'm pretty sure I went that first time. Remember my set where I did really well. My feature set. I did that and I liked him, and I think maybe one or two more times, but like. He died very soon after I did my set there.
Well,
which is like, now the mic's dead after I host there. You know, people die.
Oh, well, and if Juggalo Jake would have showed up, we could have asked him about that because he was actually supposed to feature that night that happened. But I only knew him. That's the way I brought him up. Is Sam's open mic at the Whiskey Mile. That's what it's called. That's what we started. You know, I knew him for a couple months. You know, he had the Whiskey Mile comedy.
You got a tattoo of him.
Yeah. Do I?
I thought you did. I thought you got a Sam tattoo.
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. That would be cool, though. No, I don't think so.
Why did dude, I heard a rumor. Huh? You got a Sam tattoo, so that's not even true.
No.
I've been thinking you had a Sam tattoo.
No, I don't. No, not at all. I made the stickers.
Get naked and turn around.
Yeah. That's for the Patreon.
Yeah.
But you know, I've talked about him a little bit, and he was on the podcast, and he found out all of his personal info, and trying to find out, you know, who to believe. You know, it's like believe all women, but then this is an interesting situation, especially when he's sending
and
screenshots of conversations.
At least if you look at him, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So like maybe I believe him, maybe I don't.
But sadly, you know, I only knew him for a couple months, and then he passed away, accidental overdose. But as the story goes on, you know, Jordan and me decided, let's keep this open mic at the Whiskey Mile going. Jordan's like, I want to call it Sam's Open Mic, and that's what we did.
Maybe
and
Jordan got a tattoo of him. Somebody got a tattoo.
Jordan has a lot of I mean, he has tattoos of everything. You know, he'll take a free tattoo, I'm sure. But you know, the open mic went almost every week. The only time it didn't go was either like power went out one week, and then there was another week where something else was happening and they didn't have it. But almost every week for 15, 16 months. So it's like, you know, I texted Jordan yesterday because he's saying like with Jeff and all that Jeff might want to keep the Sam's Open Mic name. They might want to continue it somewhere. That's fine. I mean, it's all good.
The lucky seven.
For me, it's like this. I knew Sam for 2 months, and Sam's Open Mic ran for almost 8 times as long as I knew the guy. So for me, I'm like, I feel okay that it ends, you know, because it's like, it doesn't need, especially if the original place that it started is closed.
Right. We don't need to keep
it's almost as
beating
if like
this dead horse.
It's almost as if like the chapter's closed. Now, if the people that helped
Laura moved away.
Yeah. Laura's in another country.
She was pounding on that dead horse, you know. She was like, my boyfriend who I accused of raping me is dead, and I was nothing but a good lover to him, and she made it all about herself, as a good narcissist should. Yeah. And so she carried his name on too, and I think you can only, in this world, you know, other than like what actually is pure and good, like you can only keep it going so far. Yeah. And like Sam's name, I mean, it's coming to an end.
I think we did a great tribute to this guy who was involved in comedy in just a little time period. And the thing is, like, Whiskey Mile, you know, people, I don't know the whole story, but just from what people have told me is that there were some issues with the plumbing, and the owner of the bar had...
There's issues with the owner raping people.
I don't know that, but allegedly. But he wanted the owners of the building to fix the plumbing, and...
He wouldn't pay a cent.
Yeah, basically they didn't pay the rent, and they evicted him, and the business closed. So there's probably going to be a bunch of legal stuff, but as far as... I mean, everybody knows legal stuff. I mean, that's going to take forever. Who knows? I mean... That could be years from now, and so...
And maybe it'll open one day, and we will be... From Trip Sitters, we'll be famous. Yeah. And we can do a Trip Sitters there. Who knows, you know?
But the Whiskey Mile is gone. It's over.
Rest in peace.
Sam, you know, I feel like we did a great tribute to him. I'm going to miss seeing Charlie, you know. She was
gone anyways. Yes. I was actually very upset... that there was no Charlie when I was hosting. That was going to be I had it all planned out in my head. Yeah. I'm going to host this amazing set. Then I'm going to come up to her and be like,
you know,
do you see that girl? I can make magic happen. And then I was going to grab her head and give her a make out with her.
All you got to do is drink half the amount that Nick Cody drinks, because he tried to do that with her and he was a little bit too much.
Right. So instead of 8 space dust, just 4.
Yeah, just 4, or 4 twisted teas. And dude, that'd be crazy. But you know, Sam's Open Mic, whatever. I took some other notes though, because there's a few things I want to talk about. Before we get into the old Kirk thing, have you heard about Kam Patterson from Kill Tony been cast on Saturday Night Live? Have you heard that?
No,
it's a new.
I have no clue.
Saturday Night Live, you know, the show's been on forever, our entire lives, you know, a staple in comedy. Everybody's been making fun of it, saying that it's never been as good as the original. You know, when we were kids, it was like, you know, Adam Sandler and Chris Farley and Spade and Will Ferrell, and then but now
there was a period of time. I mean, and see, this is what's and everybody has this controversy, you know, because it's all perspective. When you're a child, stuff's fun. You know, fart noises are funny.
Yeah.
You know, so in my childhood, Saturday Night Live was very funny. There was a brief period when it was funny, and it was definitely like David Spade, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
What's his
Norm
face?
Macdonald,
Yeah.
Tim Meadows, all
But
those
I
guys.
also think that that's potentially not just my childhood, you know, perspective. I think it could be true because Saturday Night Live got really bad.
Yeah.
It really did.
Well, it became very liberal and like, don't get me wrong, we have friends on both sides of the political.
Well, yeah, because Kill Tony sucks now too. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's too
yeah,
right.
yeah.
They're just like, hey, trans people, huh? You know,
Yeah.
hey, guy who's probably never going to watch the show again after that one fucking comment. You know, we don't like people that just hound on making fun of trans people. That's hack and lame and stupid, okay? So, like, figure it out. We are evolved.
Yeah.
You know, we know humor.
Yeah. We
Anyway,
are comedians. Throwback. That's for the old fans. But yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't watched I mean, I kind of watch it here and there. There was actually a good one recently with Rob Schneider. You can do it, you know, Rob Schneider. And now it's funny to see, like, now it's just become very conservative people go on this show.
Yeah.
Like anybody who used to be
conservative and disabled.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, there's so many.
Story Wars had a super funny. They had Tony as a guest.
Yeah.
And then they're making fun of Kill Tony. They're like, now we're going to bring out our newest guy. He's like famous on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And there's just this dude in a body cast. And he's like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
And Tony did not like that. But they definitely glorify handicapped people.
Yeah. And I want to give, you know, I think everybody deserves the opportunity. But it's like when you have cerebral palsy, followed by wheelchair, followed by, you know, mentally ill, followed by, you know,
and
autism.
all of them are transphobic.
Yeah, I know. It's just it does get a little old, you know. It's nice every once in a while, but I never really was a fan of this Kam guy. I even saw him when Tony Hinchcliffe came to Seattle a few years ago. I went to the show. And I saw Kam live, and everybody was laughing, but I'm like, I don't even understand what he's saying half the time. He's just like dancing and making noises and saying the N-word, and you know, I guess
that reminds me of when I went to Austin with Jakey T, who I now hate after everything he's done to me, and said I complain too much.
Yeah, he was supposed to be here.
We go to Austin, and I'm just starting to notice that there's something going on here, you know, and everybody that's getting in line for Kill Tony is living in their car, you know, probably 80% of them. I literally saw a guy get out of his car that he was surely living in about 4 hours before the show, and he was in this like jumpsuit, and he was just basically a wild, crazy tweaker. And I said to Danny and Jake, I'm like, I bet that guy's going on Kill Tony. And sure enough, he was in line. So you got these crazy junkies who live in their car who are going there. And then this like really just kind of sealed the deal for me. There's this 1 minute set you can do. Am I allowed to say the F slur yet, or should I just call it the F slur?
You could say whatever you want. We'll bleep it.
This guy, I'm going to say the F slur.
Yeah.
So this guy, there's like this practice round for Kill Tony while we're all waiting. They pull your name. It's a bucket pull, and you get a minute. And this guy literally just goes up there, and he goes, "No, God, please, no, no, no."
Oh, my God.
And everyone's like, "Woo!" And that like literally just kind of defined sort of the essence, the soul of Kill Tony is just this loser in a jumpsuit who lives in his car, who's trying to be famous, who goes on stage and just says the whole time.
I think that there's this huge problem, and it's almost as if like it's become American Idol now. Like everybody, and this is like even people in our local scene, like everybody is like this is it. It's just the one thing. This is all I need. Once I get this one shot, everything's going to happen from there. But yet we know people that have been on the show and nothing has happened. And the thing is, they need to, like, people need to build, like, it's not like this person's going to give me a career. It's more like they need to look at that show as if, like, all right, I've built up all this stuff and now I'm about to be exposed to like 6 million people or whatever. Right. And then you can take it from there. Like
when we were in line.
Yeah.
And Tony Hinchcliffe walked by with all his bodyguards. Yeah. And everyone was like, it's him in line. And Tony just like, it's me. I just had this feeling. I didn't think we were on Earth anymore. I was like, have I been transferred into hell? And this is this giant kind of hell.
Comedy hell.
It's this hellish punishment.
Yeah.
And Tony Hinchcliffe is the idol we all bow down and worship to and wait in line and live in squalor in our cars in jumpsuits saying, please no, so that we might perhaps get his love. Like I literally felt like Austin, Texas in the comedy scene was hell. And then people, Jake's like, oh, I got to pay $100 and go to the show inside the mothership. And this is before I found like Too Lazy to Try and Elephant Graveyard. Yeah, so like
podcast cringe.
Casey tells me I'm brainwashed.
Yeah,
but no, these guys are just validating what I already witnessed with my own eyes. This like conglomeration
landscape.
of losers whose souls are impure and they just want to say and like, sorry, you definitely edit that out. But they just want to do that, and so they drive. They cut off their family and go and live in their car, and so that they might have the chance to hold a microphone and tell Tony Hinchcliffe, hey, I also don't like gay people.
Yeah. Hey, well, then they wouldn't like Tony, right? Right?
Well,
hey,
yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, it just brings me back to like, okay, say you do get an opportunity, then what? It's almost as if everyone's like, they're just waiting for them to be taken on the ride. I mean, even Hans Kim did a bunch of work and a lot of stuff before ever getting on the show. So, but yeah, this Cam guy, I don't know. It's going to be, I don't think it's going to last very long because personally, I don't feel like this guy really writes. I mean, unless he can get somebody who's a really good writer to write like characters and sketches for him. I think it's just a publicity stunt. I think it's just the SNL people are trying to capitalize on what's popular right now, which is, the Trump.
What do you think about the new guy?
Comedy,
the new guy on Hinchcliffe's show. He is very much like Mitch Hedberg. Have you met or not met him? Have you seen him?
No. Yeah. I know that there's the guy with the weird hands. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe
no.
There's like so there's Timmy No Breaks.
Oh, that guy is like
he's
New York.
Copying
Andrew Dice Clay pretty much. Yeah, he's just he had some pretty good jokes.
The other guy who's copying Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, okay. I follow that guy. I follow that guy on Instagram, and I didn't watch the episode, but he got torn apart.
Yeah, you're a copycat. Yeah.
Well, who do you who do you think in the scene is copying? But
Diner Dad is trying to copy
Jerry Seinfeld.
No, what's his face? The guy that wrote Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, Larry David?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that could just be because he's Jewish. It's just it's inherently in all of them.
He's mentioned a few times. He's like, just like how Casey's trying to copy. Yeah. Oh, we don't talk about that guy anymore. Never mind.
Yeah. We don't rate people's comedy sets anymore. We get in trouble for that. No, we will. We'll do it. We'll do whatever we want.
We should do mine next.
Yeah. I don't know.
You got my shroom show?
I haven't got this. So I really wanted to get it set up for videos yet. I've been watching so much Reddit, so many great videos. There's nothing more entertaining than when black people do commentary on their own videos. And it's just like, I just saw this one video, and maybe as I describe it, I'll play it. But it's these people are having a brawl in a parking lot, And then one guy gets in his car and he turns around and he does a U-turn, and this woman is like, "What you gonna do?" And he runs his car right into her and pushes her right up against this metal fence. And they're like, and the people on the camera are like, "Oh shit, call 911, yo!" Like it's just the black experience
is the best experience.
It's I mean, I wouldn't want to be black as far as like being profiled or driving in a car, but like if you're if you're an entertainer,
black guy.
If you're an entertainer,
black people are so cool.
And they give everything. They just put more passion into. Like white people, we're really good at like
and they know
hiding our feelings.
Black people like they have this this sort of knowing that they sit in where they're like, "Yo, I know what I like. I'm gang, blah blah blah."
Yeah,
they know like something that I can't even imitate because they just know. They have a knowing. They're way more connected to their humanness than I ever will be. Because like as a white guy, I'm like, I know that I need to impress my parents and not let them down and make a bunch of money and stuff. But like a black guy, just like he knows. I don't know what they know because I'm not black.
Well, the other thing too is that I would say almost all black people that I've met are really good at hustling and making money. And I'm not saying illegitimate. I'm just saying like they are much more harder. Like I know so many white people that just coast off their parents that, get an allowance or that, mom and dad. And then I know black people that were having diamond encrusted bracelets in high school because they had their own thing going on,
right.
So
I'm jealous.
We need to take a step back. I don't know why. Now we can move on to the next subject, which is the big one. Everybody wants to talk about
Charlie.
This big, it was sad, man. It's a sad assassination that happened. And it's really divided. It's this almost more divided than George Floyd at this point because
it's a white guy and they're more popular.
As a comic, I take pride in having friends and comic friends that are on both sides, and it's interesting to see all the arguments breaking out. I don't know, you're on Facebook very often, but holy cow, man, I have seen people say that they've lost gigs because they don't think it was right for a guy to have for a wife and kid to be left widowed. I've seen people say like,
I'm so glad.
Yeah, I'm happy. I hope more's coming,
Right.
And other people say, I wish it was this person. Either way, man, it was absolutely brutal. And it was probably the most graphic gunshot I've seen in a long time. And I go on Reddit a lot. But that one I saw from multiple angles.
He gets hit and you can see the life leave. He's like, go.
The
life leaves his body.
I didn't really watch a lot of his stuff. Were you pretty familiar with him and his work or anything like that?
Not until afterwards.
Yeah, South Park made fun of him recently. They did their second episode.
I watched a whole thing of woke people going against him, and don't get me wrong, he's sticking to a script that's offending people, and it's not necessarily true, but he at least has the script to stick to, and people are getting mad. And so these woke people would go up against him and say things, and then he would rebut them. But his rebuttal, whether it's based in truth or not, he was so convinced of it that they'd start to agree with him, and then they get voted off the panel. And so I don't know. It's I think it's sad that somebody like that was killed. He was creating conversation that we needed to have. Whatever side he was on, he was actually allowing for the conversation to happen, and now we don't have that.
Yeah. And it's hard for people to look at anything positive when they are so negative against somebody and what they stand for. Like I was telling my wife, I said, look, Trump is a good speaker. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Whether you like him or his politics, that's the reason he made it, because he's good at talking. He's good at talking shit. He's good at sounding likable. And now with all the policies and stuff, obviously people have caught on to it, but that is the whole reason, is that You can admit when somebody you don't like is talented at something, right? And so this dude, I feel like, you know, he was a good talker and he was good at getting people interested in politics. And it's not something that I'm into, but it's just like, look, if we were like, hey, we're in America, you know, we're here, everybody's an individual to make their own choices. Like, I think it's good that he was getting people to at least think about like what they wanted to do. And what, I mean, like you and I, we weren't born to shape policies and shape this country.
No, we were born to
the clowns.
make very bad jokes.
We're the entertainers. There are people out there that really want to do great things with the world and all that. And they need people to guide them. And, you know, it would be a mistake if people were to assume that whatever you are when you're a young man or a young woman ends up being what you are your entire life, because people change over time. You know?
For sure.
I mean, I heard this quote from my friend that said, when you are 18 or you're a liberal, when you're 18 or something, you're a liberal because you have a heart, and then when you're in your 30s, you're conservative because you have a brain, or something like that. You know,
the
like
common one.
Yeah,
like,
I don't even know.
A guy in his 20s is a conservative, and then they become 30 in there, or whatever, other way around. They're liberal in their 20s and then conservative when they're 30. So what are they when they're 40?
The biggest argument, that's me. The biggest argument that I see is I always see the what about this, what about that, what about the school shooting, what about what he said about this, what about, and it's just like, regardless of what about, is it right to end somebody's life because you don't agree with what they say? Probably not, you know, right? You know?
Unless you're Jakey T, who says that I complain too much. Jakey, that's bullshit.
Jake, we got a you know,
we're beefing, bro.
Him and Juggalo Jake were gonna come over that night that you weren't feeling it, and then I was like, "Hey, you guys still coming over?" And he's like, "Nope, I just dropped off Jake. It's been a bad day." So Jake, ET's going through some stuff. We're all going through some stuff, but
well, don't take it out on me.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining. I want to help you,
dude. I got my first speeding ticket the other day. It was awful. At first, I was pissed off, and I was like, all cops are bastards. I hate it. But the more I think, I honestly didn't realize that the speed limit was 20, and I was going 31. All right. I thought it was 25, and even though I know I am in the wrong, I was like, look, dude, I got this special needs kid. She's screaming in the back. And literally, as this guy... I drive by a church. He's hanging out in a church. Why are cops hanging out in church parking lots, huh? I mean, that's private property, right? Huh? They should be on the street so we can see them.
Church probably welcome them.
You know, but either way. You know, I was in a lane where kids don't cross the street. I was taking my child to work or to school, and we got pulled over. And as he's walking up, he just hears this kid screaming and crying like, "Daddy, I don't want you to go to jail." You know, like, "Oh, are they going to take you? Are they going to arrest you?" All this kind of stuff. I was like, no, Alaska. It's okay. Don't worry. And,
it's because you named her Alaska.
Yeah. And she's fine. And he was like, yeah, so you're speeding low. I was like, oh, sorry, man. I got a special needs kid. He didn't care at all. And then I gave him the registration. He's like, you know, you didn't sign your registration. I was like, oh, really? I was like, I didn't know I had. He's like, yeah, you know, and he was just basically saying it was like going to be a $300 fine. And he was like, basically like, I understand you got something going on, but, and then whatever he said after that was basically alluding to the fact that we need to make money is basically it. We're not here to protect and serve. We're not, you know, like, look, I broke the law. I drove 6 miles over the speed limit. However, I don't think that really justifies a $150 ticket when I'm driving my child to school and I'm in a lane where there's nobody in front of me, nobody behind me, nobody crossing the street. And this dude's camped out in a church waiting for people, just clocking them. Like, this is why people don't like police. This is why my daughter, who's 7 years old, doesn't like police. Because we're supposed to think of the police as good guys. We're supposed to think of the police as like, hey, we're here to help you and save you. But yet, constantly, all they are just hall monitors. They're principals. They're like, oh, you did this. Now you got to pay because we need our money, you know? Yeah. And that's, yeah. And then they're breaking the rules. Like they're always working overtime when they're not supposed to, they're cheating. It's just at this point, being 40 years old, man, I personally feel like most people who become police officers, I'm suspicious of their motives. I don't think that they're out to be good guys. I think they're either, hey, this is a good way for me to make some money and be an asshole, or it's like I was bullied when I was a kid, and I am going to take it out on the rest of people. So I am looking forward to when AI takes over and RoboCops are out and all that good shit.
For sure.
There's a robot I've been watching on TikTok named Rizbot. It's pretty sick, man.
Does he teach you how to have Riz?
No, he's got all these meme recordings. So he'll walk up to a black person and he'll be like, "Would you like a compliment or an insult?" And they'd be like, "I like a compliment." And he'd be like, "Yo, my brother, you looking fly with that."
That's an insult.
Yeah, it's Rizbot, man. And then he has this laugh, and I don't know what the laugh is from, but he'll fall over, and then he'll be like, and it's just
that's racist as shit.
And I'm just like, dude, I love this robot more than half the people I've encountered.
Well,
last week,
it's better than it's definitely better than JKT. Rizbot would never, tell me I complain too much.
So what do you think about the Kirk thing, man? Because it's been interesting. A lot of people instantly assumed that he was liberal, that he was pro.
One
Kamala,
of the things, the conspiracy theory, he started questioning Israel, and then the next thing you know, he's taken out.
These are gonna be a little sticky because they're stuck together, but.
He was like, well, maybe, there's a clip of him talking to Ben Shapiro. He's like, well, what's the deal with Israel getting so mad whenever you question them, calling you anti-Semitic? And then, boom, dead.
Dude, we can't even, this isn't even the right podcast, but it's just everything that's going on in the Middle East, in the Israel area, I'm like, my God, how does nobody everyone's just like, yep, it's cool, it's all good. Why isn't the whole world hey, these people, they're acting a little bit like Nazis, right? We're not fans of not,
I have people that theorize that World War II, the Nazis actually won, and we've been in a Nazi-controlled state for.
There's all sorts of conspiracies, man. There's a conspiracy that Hitler never died, that he went to Argentina.
Well, he's dead now.
Yeah. He's been if Hitler was reincarnated, who do you think he would be today? Who could be the new Hitler? And I don't want to say Trump because that's too easy.
Yeah.
Who would be the next Taylor Swift, possibly, I don't know.
Yeah,
she's got a lot of influence. Selena Gomez, she's got the Latin, she's got a lot of followers. That's all I'm saying.
Right. She could convince anybody.
And then, dude, the same day. Oh, yeah. So anyways, the cop gave me the ticket. I felt really shitty about it, but then I found out that the speed limit was actually 20. So I was like, okay, I broke the law.
You were going 30. How fast are you going again?
31.
Yeah.
And he really let me off, and it's just whatever. It is what it is. I'm not gonna complain about it. I broke the law. Could have been worse. Could have lost my life. Whatever.
Could have lost your life.
Could have lost my life.
Could have killed your dad.
Could have. Yeah. I was just like, you're gonna pull me over? Nah, buddy. It's over. We're going viral today, But and then that day, my kid got suspended from school. I'm sitting here, pissed off. I'm making clips, comedy simp clips for the YouTube. And then at noon, my wife's like, oh, so she just got suspended. She was hitting the teacher and this and that, and you're going to have to pick her up. So
that reminds me, I got to give you the thing to scan.
Oh, yeah, yes. The show. So ladies and gentlemen, big announcement. Rob and I are back producing another show next month, October 8th.
Yeah. Central Saloon.
We're back at the Central Saloon.
We're going to have, everyone's going to be on shrooms.
Trip sitters,
Maybe
baby.
that'll help.
We're going to have aliens, and it's going to be, it's October. It's spooky season. Look. We're eating the brand new Wednesday
from Goodwill.
Netflix. Yes, Goodwill. These are Gushers from Goodwill. Yes.
So somebody passed those down.
They are used Gushers, and They're not. They're all right. I mean, there's nothing crazy about. They're fine. You know, I like a tropical gusher more. I like those colors that RFK just wants to ban. You know, those ones that are just they're like comedy simp colors. You know, I like to eat food that looks like my podcast. You know, so I don't know if you saw. I posted this thing. I made one of those. You know, I'm always playing with AI. I made a comedy simp meal, and so it's got a burger. And the fries are called haha fries. And then the drink is a rainbow shake, and it's called ketamine cooler. And so it's a milkshake with ketamine in it. And I think we're onto something. You know?
Maybe.
You know?
I mean, who knows, dude? At this point, there's too much going on to like really figure out what they want anymore.
Yeah,
I've given up.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any theories about this shooter? Because I've heard conflicting things. One, I've heard
my theory is he started questioning Israel.
Yes. Well, that's one of them. Yes, absolutely. There's another one that said that he's actually more alt-right. That he's following some guy named Nick Fuentes. You ever heard of this guy?
Yeah. I've heard of Nick.
Yeah, and that they're like that they've been in this battle against. Charlie Kirk and his people because they're not conservative enough. This is the most recent one that I have found that I have heard, and I don't know if this is true. That this guy actually had a girlfriend who was trans, who was a male becoming female, and that he was so tired of people talking about trans school shooters that he wanted to.
See, I think the reason we have all these conspiracies is because your neighbor's got it right. He's got like 10 cars that he needs to watch.
Yeah.
We have no cars. So, I mean, we have some cars, but not enough to wash them over and over and over again with a pressure washer. And so, like, if we could just, consolidate our life to a good job and a bunch of cars and a good woman and kids to take care of, maybe we wouldn't be so focused on all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't have that, so all I have is to get conspiracy theories about why some asshole died who really doesn't matter. I mean, he does matter to like everybody else, but does he really mean anything to my life? No,
and that's another thing too. And it's like I hate to sound like crass and like like I don't care, but it's like I think about it like this: do the people in the Middle East they care about me? Do they care about what I'm going to do? Do they care about
the Comedy Sim podcast?
Do they care about if I'm suffering, if I don't have enough money, if my mother-in-law's dying of cancer, if my daughter's going to be expelled? They don't care. And it's like, it is very sad that there are all these things happening over, and I desperately hope that they figure it out. But at the same time, it's like, we cannot let...
Right. Why are we letting our lives get affected by... these sound bites that are coming through our phone?
I guess if I was a fan of Kirk, I would be like, oh, that sucks. It'd be like...
For sure. It'd be like if Jim Carrey...
I was going to say Tim Dillon. You said Jim Carrey. Yeah. Jim Carrey, I hope he doesn't know. Jim Carrey, man. They're going to remake The Truman Show?
Oh, no.
What a bunch of bullshit. Chris Pratt is going to direct and star in a remake of The Truman Show.
That is bullshit, dude. We need to... I will kill Chris Pratt over this.
I'm alive. But did you know we're in Granite Falls? There is a... so Chris Pratt is from Lake Stevens. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a pizza place in Granite Falls. It's called Omega Pizza. And there's a wall that Chris Pratt painted a mural, and they have not covered it up because he's famous.
So famous,
and it is not great. But if you would like to see that,
made by Chris Pratt,
it's a painting. Like if you like celebrities and it's 2025, dude, you got to get your head examined because. I used to
There's
love,
something wrong with these people.
I used to love celebrity culture when I was a kid. I loved actors. I loved seeing movies. Excited. I love Charlie Sheen, all that kind of stuff.
Did you see his new thing?
I just heard about it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's good.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
He fucked a lot of dudes.
Corey Feldman. No, but I remember going to the Walk of Fame, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I know you've been there. And seeing these people getting excited.
I might have been blacked out, drunk, passed out on a Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, on Charlie Sheen's star. Yeah. And then seeing these people from like other states seeing Tom Cruise's star and getting excited to see his star.
Oh, so
and I was just
take a picture.
Like, what? And I just couldn't get it. I just don't get it anymore.
No,
and
it's
just like
crazy.
now, like anybody who's like a famous, like it would be cool to meet a comedian that I like.
For sure.
You know, and it would be sad if a comedian I like died.
For sure.
But like, I just can't, like, even bands and rappers that we listen to, it's like if they go, they go, you know, like it doesn't really. It's
It's
not
like the most popular guy in high school when he dies. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, that sucks, but I'm not, you know, I still have my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I still have my problems. We don't need to glorify another human being who's takes a shit and pisses every day. And, you know, it's like these people are just people. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, they're going, if they make it long enough, they're going to end up in an old folks home shitting their pants and getting their asses wiped. And I'm supposed to.
If well, you know what? We can move on to that. But if there's still people working at old folks' homes by the time they make it to that age.
Yeah.
But with that said, bringing it back to the robots, I have heard that they are developing new AI robots to become companions for elderly because the elderly's family don't want to visit them in the homes anymore. So they're like, we're just going to build robots to keep them company.
Because like robots, if you have a robot therapist and you're like, I'm thinking about killing myself, supposedly the robot therapist will be like, you maybe should consider that.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you...
I know, the ChatGPT kid. Remember that? Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like, what are you going to... you know, you're going to just deliver your parent, you know, your loved one to this fucking psychophantic ass yes man who's just like, I've been shitting my pants and getting old. Should I kill myself? And it's like, probably you should.
Yeah.
Humanity.
And then donate all your money to Israel also when you go. You know, there was a, man, I think it was, it must have been Jim Jones, but one of those cult leaders, I remember when they died, they had all this big pool of money and they donated all of it to a communist party of something, you know. I think it was Jim Jones though. He was just like, I'm going to be gone. What am I going to do? I don't need this money. So he just
We should start a cult.
Yeah. We could. I mean, you know, Stavros, the comedian, he just has a movie that came out about cults. I haven't seen it yet, but like literally when I was a kid, I had this idea for like a comic book or a movie about like, I mean, you've never really seen this in a movie where how a cult is started.
Yeah.
You know, like how people decide, all right, I'm going to recruit these people and I'm going to get them to follow me. And then we're going to do this and that. And then I'm going to start sleeping with all the women and, you know,
sometimes
hoarding all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and like I was like, I always thought like the idea for a movie would be like called How to Start a Cult, and like literally
that is the name of the movie.
You know, let's just say Stavros
yeah.
came up with that years later. But my take on it was more dark and like, you know, like the whole Jim Jones where it starts out you're just Christian. And then all of a sudden, your Christian values start to like change a little bit, and you're like, you know, there's this other book that you guys didn't know about. I'm going to bring up, and you know, you start reading about that. So, but yeah, R.I.P. Charlie.
We miss you, girl.
Yes, we miss you, man. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw Charlie. It was actually the first time I went to Sam's open mic. And
was her nipple showing?
Probably, but she was walking. I was walking out of the bathroom and she had like a tray or something, and I stopped and she stopped, and I was like, for a minute I was like, God, man, I wish I was single.
Right.
You know, just immediately, and then
that's like so many hot bartenders.
You know, but then it's like as time goes on, you find out how much they get harassed and. You know, they have to change their name so people don't stalk them on Facebook and all that. So
I know. I remember Jakey T, asshole, was like so proud that he knew her real name.
Yeah, well, her real name is Charlie. No, I don't know. I wonder what's gonna happen. To all those people. You know,
Don't
Charlie,
get a new job.
She does hair and stuff like that in Redmond.
Is that why she wasn't there the day that I worked there?
I think she went to go visit like Texas.
It's like she didn't know that they're closing down.
Yeah. So what are you doing? You popping a in there or something?
Want a Rogue?
I've never had one of these, huh? How many milligrams? 6?
They're 6, but
ooh, oh, This might make me dizzy. We'll find out. You know,
He's gonna puke on amazing pod.
I tried the Zins and my head would be like, whoa. So we're really like Tom Segura.
Yeah. Where's the smelling salts?
Yeah, we need that. And where you go? You go under the lip or what?
I go up here, right here.
Oh.
Top left.
Yeah.
Upper left. How many minutes are we at?
I feel like I need to start. We're almost at, we're like
An hour?
We're at about an hour. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we're just rolling
We're
along,
just vibing, bro.
You know, I don't know what else. What else is going on in the world? You know, there's some things happening.
I mean, Charlie Kirk was the biggest one, and then also my drama.
Yeah.
JKT, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got the Shroom Show coming up.
Yes. So let's talk about that. Well, I can already feel this like nicotine just. Yeah. I feel like my head's gonna be like pretty soon. But I'm like, I hear this is supposed to help with the brain, and I need some help with the brain, but
No, you're fine. I mean, maybe your daughter needs nicotine to get normal again.
she needs something.
That was funny. Can I say what you texted me, or is that too
What's
far?
that? No, go ahead.
You can edit it out, I guess. When you're like, I definitely regret having a kid.
Yeah.
Don't make the same mistake I do.
Yes, absolutely. No, it's a fair thing to say because when people have kids, they expect to have normal kids. And then
because like I said, I when I texted back, I was like, this summer, and it's still lingering on. You know, I've been telling this girl, I'm like, we should have a kid together. I don't know why. I mean, at its base level, I could say it's because I feel purposeless, so I need a purpose. So that's what I say it is.
yeah.
But there's something that's been pulling me to have a kid. And I think a lot of it...
When you get to a certain age, you're like, oh, man, I'm like halfway through my life, and now what am I going to
What's the point
do?
of even being alive unless I have something to take care of?
Most of my friends that are my age already have kids that are like 10, 15.
I disagree with that because most of my friends are like Nick Cody, Andy Harder. They don't have kids.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. But it's like, for me, it's more like most of my friends are Nick Cody and Andy Harder, and they don't have kids. And so it's like, I don't see really my comedy going anywhere. It could, but in the meantime, why not have something to focus on?
Well, we're going to focus. We have a show next month, October 8th, Central Saloon. You hit the guy up. We hadn't been to the Central Saloon since the Stand On Business show.
Yeah, I hit him up, and he's just like,
yeah,
do a show, dude.
We're going to be back, and we got a new lineup. We got new energy. We got men. We got women. We got black. We got
Blacks.
Latino. You know,
Paunch.
Can we announce? Let's see. Paunch is going to be Paunch superstar. Andy Harder. Guy named Johnny Love. Never seen this guy. I'm very excited.
He's very funny. Robbie Schrader. Remember I showed you? He was like, Johnny Love's on this? That's amazing. Johnny Love, he has only performed at Flight Path. He has never done a show before, but he is just.
We're here to showcase the new talents.
Listen,
all right?
He's going to
This is the new Kill Tony. Okay.
The DEI.
Yeah.
You know, he's a black guy, but he's actually funnier than all of us combined. He really is.
Yeah.
He's funny.
I'm excited. And then we have Marie Elizabeth, friend. Yeah. She's going to be there to calm us all down. And did I miss anybody, or is that everybody? That's everybody. That's the lineup. Robbie is I'm excited for Robbie because he's got all sorts of fun. He's like the Gallagher of Seattle incels. Yeah. And he's not an incel. I'm just saying, like, he entertains the incels.
Right.
Yes. Whew. Starting to feel a little something from that.
Where's the smelling salts?
I know. That'll be next time. So next time I'm working on. I'm gonna get a new tablet so we can watch some videos on the screen here. We'll do some smelling salts. I got some ideas for some new videos, and some of the clips I've been putting out have been pretty good, man. They're slowly building, and
we hate you. I love, you know, I really like the what's it called, the just
interaction,
interaction, whatever. Just the their perspective of what we're doing.
Yeah, it's my friend Alex that I interviewed. Shout out to him. He just opened up for Bert Kreischer last night in Canada. But he was on the podcast and he told a story about taking his drunk friend to see T.J. Miller. And I made a clip of him telling the story. 2 people commented, "Oh, this is a fake story." Yeah, It's like, okay, well,
No, it's not.
yeah. At least you commented. Thanks for the interaction.
Yeah.
Thanks for
You guys think you're so funny.
Thanks for the boost to the algorithm, bro. I'm gonna have to take this out. I'm starting to get dizzy. Whew. I like the taste though. The taste isn't bad.
Throw it in my hand.
No. I'll throw it in. Anything else, man? Anything you want to talk about? Man, I got like a stuffed nose.
No, I've just told you. I'm just mad about Jake. I have a couple things.
Okay,
that I'm mad about.
what do we do about Jake? What is the plan?
Well, he just wake up, Jake. I'm actually doing better than you.
What happened? What? Just break it down. Now I'm like, this is perfect because I'm feeling
the girl I've been hanging out.
No, listen, I'm feeling the nicotine, but it's not like making my heart explode.
The girl I'm hanging out. He wants to pay her to come clean.
Okay.
But she's got plenty of money. I need the money. So she goes, Jake, why don't you have Rob?
So Takoa, I don't know her. Sometimes I see her name on Instagram. I'm like, should I add her? I don't know.
Nah, fuck
but
her.
she's making the poster for our show, Trip Sitters, which I forgot to announce. Yeah. That's the name of the show, Trip Sitters.
Great draw.
Link in the description. She's a great artist. And anyways, she's cleaning Jakey T's house.
Yeah. So she's like, why don't you have Rob do it? Because I got plenty of money. He's going to pay. And he goes, I'd rather pay you because I don't want to pay someone who's going to complain the whole time. And I'm not going to, I mean, maybe I'll complain the whole time, but you'd be lucky to have me complain the whole time.
You know, this guy is a tip-top cleaner. You know, this is what people at Zeke's call him, the cleaner, because there's nobody cleaner than him.
Yeah.
There's nobody cleaner than Rob C. Well, R.I.P. Whiskey Mile. Make sure you guys check out our show.
Yeah, I got to pee again.
Buy some Comedy Simp merch.
Please
and,
do.
I don't know, man.
That's it, I guess. We did it.
Shout out Nate Jackson. And that's it. Comedy Simp. We're out.
Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire.